Hi, my name is Martin Orlando. Welcome to my hobby YouTube channel. Today I have a flashback. 30 years ago today, April 14th, 1996. These were the top 20 hits. At number 1 was One of Us by Joan Osborne. This spent 4 weeks at number 1, and it was at its final week at number 1. Joan Osborne was asking, what if God was one of us? Her only one hit on my countdown, and that's Joan Osborne. This was a single, and it's from her album called Relish. Had 2 songs on it, One of Us and Dracula Moon. That's Joan Osborne. She had the number 1 hit 30 years ago today, April 14th, 1996, One of Us. At number 2, Follow You Down by the Gin Blossoms. This was the Gin Blossoms' second album. Congratulations, I'm sorry, Gin Blossoms. The song Follow You Down, the third song from this, was number 2 for that week. That's the Gin Blossoms, Follow You Down. At number 3, Always Be My Baby by Mariah Carey. This was from her album Daydream. Always Be My Baby was the 5th song on this CD. That was number 3, and it fell down 1 place. Went to number 2. At number 4, Moment of Truth by Whitney Houston. This is from her EP Exhale Shoop Shoop, from the movie Waiting to Exhale. The song Moment of Truth made up 2 more places to number 4 this week. And that's Whitney Houston and Moment of Truth from the movie Waiting to Exhale. At number 5, Blessed by Elton John. This was a single from his album Made in England. Blessed had a couple of hit songs on it, Honky Cat, Take Me to Pilot, and The Bitch Is Back, some of his older hits. But that's Blessed. It made it up to, dropped down 2 places to number 5 this week. April 14th, 1996. At number 6, Martin Page and Light in Your Heart. This is from his album In the House of Stone and Light. Song number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The 9th hit on here. Light in Your Heart. That's Martin Page. At number 7, Peaches by the Presidents of the USA. This moved up 4 places to number 7. This was a single EP. Peaches was the big hit on here. That's the group, the Presidents of the United States of America, and Peaches. That was number 7. Number 8, Hook by Blues Traveler. This moved up 5 places to number 8. This was a single also. had the song Run Around in a live version. Hook by Blues Traveler. Number 9, Gel by Collective Soul. This was their album, just Collective Soul. Their second album. Gel was the 7th song on here. That's Collective Soul. They stayed at number 9 this week with Gel. Number 10, Nobody Knows by the Tony Rich Project. This jumped up 10 places to number 10, getting a lot of airplay on the radio. Tony Rich Project, this was a single. Nobody Knows. He was from the group Tony. He went solo that year. That's the Tony Rich Project and Nobody Knows. Number 11 was from the Empire Records soundtrack, which had a lot of hits on it. Circle of Friends by Better Than Ezra. And that was right here. That's the group Better Than Ezra. They're from Louisiana area, New Orleans. And that's the Circle of Friends. It moved up 1 place to number 11. At number 12, Ironic by Alanis Morissette. Ironic was moving up the chart, went up 6 places to number 12. This was from the album Jagged Little Pill. Ironic was song number 10. That's Alanis Morissette, number 12, with Ironic. And number 13, Flat Top by the Goo Goo Dolls. A Boy Named Goo is the name of this album. The Goo Goo Dolls and Flat Top, song number 4. The hit Name and Naked were the first 2 hits, and then Flat Top was the 3rd hit song on here. It moved up 1 place to number 13 this week. April 14th, 1996, 30 years ago today. That was the number 13 song, Flat Top by the Goo Goo Dolls. Number 14, Be My Lover by La Bouche. This is a duo. They're club music, techno music at the time. Be My Lover was a big dance hit. It moved up 5 places to number 14. And that's the group La Bouche and Be My Lover. Number 15, This Boy from the Beatles. This was from their anthology and the hit song Free as a Bird. That was the first hit off of here. And it had 4 hit songs on here. This Boy, I Saw Her Standing There, and Christmas Time Is Here Again, along with Free as a Bird. This Boy made a hit again and was the backside of I Want to Hold Your Hand at the time. And then I Saw Her Standing There became the backside of that record from back in the 60s, 1964. From the anthology, This Boy was moving down the chart, down 7 places to number 15. At number 16, I'm Getting Used to You by Selena. This was Selena's album, Dreaming of You. I'm Getting Used to You is a song number 3 on here. Follow up to her hit Dreaming of You, and I Could Fall in Love. That's Selena. And I'm Getting Used to You. It dropped down 11 places to number 16. At number 17, You Win My Love by Shania Twain. This is from her album The Woman in Me. It's a big hit for her. You Win My Love, the 8th song on here. Follow up to her hit Any Man of Mine and Home Ain't Where His Heart Is. That's Shania Twain, and she dropped down 7 places to number 17. It was a former number 1, You Win My Love. At number 18, George Michael and Older. This was an instrumental. And the backside to Jesus to a Child. The instrumental moved up the chart. It debuted at number 18 this week. That's Older. That's George Michael. At number 19, Wonderwall by Oasis. This was also a debut at number 19. And it's a single, Wonderwall by Oasis. And at number 20, Don't Cry by Seal. This was a follow-up to his big hit Kiss from a Rose. And that was from the Batman movie that starred Val Kilmer. Don't Cry was moving up the chart. It debuted at number 20 this week. And that's Don't Cry by Seal. Had a lot of versions on. This was a single version. Alright, and some upcoming videos. Got the top female artists coming up. Here's a couple of those female artists. And got the top movie soundtracks. And this will be one of the ones I'll show you coming up next week. And then we got my superhero Gumby here. That's the name of my channel, Mr. Gumby 175. I'll show you my collection of Gumby stuff. And this was the radio I used to chart those hits in the 90s. I use this as my alarm clock sometimes, but now we use our cell phones more than anything else. This was the radio, and it still works really good. I picked up a lot of radio stations around the world and local ones that made the chart. Made my chart. I used the radio. Alright, thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.